So yesterday we covered this viral story about the cheating scandal between astronomer CEO Andy Byron and his HR executive Kristen Cabot. It's all over front page headline news. I don't know why this has really caught on to the public attention so strongly. But now people are starting to engage in some discourse about what it means for the rest of society and gender dynamics and feminism. We'll get to that in a second, but there are now fake responses just circulating from supposedly Andy Byron. These are not real statements, but we should just show the video in case anyone missed it yesterday from the concert. They're on the Jumbotron,
come on. You're okay?
hiding in shame.
Did you guys talk about this on IRL?
Briefly, it came on.
That lady right there.
I'm not quite sure.
And now the official Coldplay account said, starting with our next show, we're introducing camera-free audience sections for people and their side pieces in case this happens again.
This was not real. This was fake.
And then this is the fake statement from the CEO. I want to acknowledge the moment that's been circulating online and the disappointment it's caused. What was supposed to be a night of music and joy turned into a deeply personal mistake playing out on a very public stage. I want to sincerely apologize to my wife, my family, and the team at Astronomer. You deserve better from me as a partner, as a father, and as a leader. This is not who I want to be or how I want to represent the company I helped build. I'm taking time to reflect, take accountability, to figure out next steps. Personally and professionally, I ask for privacy as I navigate that process. I also want to express how troubling it is that what should have been a private moment became public without my consent. I respect artists and entertainers, but I hope we can all think more deeply about the impact of turning someone else's life into a spectacle. As a friend once sang, lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. Andy. So yeah, this is not real.
I'm sorry, but this is the genius of the internet in today's day and age. Like, it's a perfectly believable post up until you get to the Coldplay lyrics. It's just whoever wrote that is S tier when it comes to the internet, and I'm here for it.
They had a lot of people falling for it, and there was also a parody statement from Andy Byron on Truth Social talking about this kiss cam hoax. The radical left tech press has struck again, just like the fake and discredited hit pieces they've run on every successful founder, the jealous ex-employees, the anonymous Glassdoor warriors, who were probably fired for underperformance, and all the startup scandals designed to tear down winners. And this so-called kiss cam controversy is nothing but a hoax, a total setup. They can't stand our massive success at Astronomer. We've built a $1 billion company, redefined data ops, and led the market with more speed and vision than anyone. But do they want to talk about the technology, the innovation, the jobs we've created? No. They want to obsess over a viral concert clip at a Coldplay show, no less. Not exactly backstage at the Playboy Mansion. And by the way, we're just friends. Good friends. But the fake news media and the startup gossip machine, fueled by the bitter, the lazy, and the washed up, will never let facts get in the way of a juicy headline. Let them keep crying into their soy lattes. We're building. We're winning. We're not stopping. To those who are falling for this nonsense, thank you, but we're full up on weaklings. Astronomer is for champions. Astronomer is for winners.
I like how they gave it 10.1K retweets.
Yeah. I can't. So all you weaklings who are falling for this kiss cam hoax, we look down on you. We shame you.
My favorite was the one that said, like, the worst part about this is that in 2 years, he's going to write on LinkedIn, like, what getting caught cheating at a Coldplay concert taught me about data sales.
Oh, yeah. I said that there is a high probability Andy Byron in real life is going to use this viral moment to launch the next chapter of his career in some form or fashion. Be it in PR or media or podcast, who knows? But this presents a lot of opportunities. And then I realized we glossed over one detail yesterday, There is a woman standing next to the cheaters on the Jumbotron who is smiling ear to ear.
Yeah, another employee.
And that is an employee at Astronomer who actually had just gotten a promotion from Kristen Cabot recently in the past month. So she knew about their secret and was hiding it from the world. And she's just like, oop, Chris Martin did all the work for me. And Radfem Hitler said, I'm actually more interested in the payday for her underling. 2 executives at the company making you hide their affair and accompany them on their dates as a cover sounds like a lawsuit.
Or maybe she's just a bad person and doesn't care that they're cheating on that he's cheating on his spouse and that she's, I guess she's divorced, right?
Kristen Cabot
is divorced.
I don't know. Some people were saying Kristen Cabot is still married. Others are saying she's divorced. But Andy Byron for sure is a married man. Then there were claims that actually Andy Byron's wife was his mistress with his
that was not confirmed.
previous marriage. I don't know anything about that.
I also saw like TikToks that were supposedly the kids of Andy Byron. Like people, like the internet's gonna internet.
It's
like,
doing its thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say if it's true that Andy Byron's current wife was his mistress at one point, that definitely completely cancels out my sympathy for her situation because he's a cheater, always a cheater. You knew what you were getting into.
We don't know if that's true.
If that's true.
And
then what was most interesting to me is the gender discourse that started up as a result of this controversy, because we're talking about a guy with a net worth of over $1 billion. And
this guy is worth over $1 billion, or his company is worth over $1 billion?
I suppose they would say his company.
Okay.
He is a founder, so I assume that he has an extremely high net worth.
Well, then he needs to ask Meghan Markle what he would do. As a male founder, he needs to ask a female founder what she would do.
This story is flying in the face of all of the stereotypes that perhaps the red pill or manosphere sections of the internet would have you believe about the preferences of a high-value man. And Andy Byron is supposedly, by those metrics, a high-value man, and yet, confoundingly, decided to have an affair on his wife with an aging, gray-haired girl boss who is dedicated to her career and a divorcee, and I believe, according to some, a single mother. So this doesn't really fit the stereotypes that a lot of red pillars would have you believe. And I saw this tweet on it saying, I don't understand affairs like this. This guy has a woman at home, his wife and the mother of his children, who is not a careerist. She is also younger than he is. Then he cheats with an age-matched, high-powered boss bitch? I don't get it. Blowing up your marriage and losing half so you can bang some 20-year-old Puerto Rican is reprehensible, but at least I know the motivation. I think she's implying the motivation there would just be lust.
Yes.
But this, make it make sense. And then another take from Hitler said, the more important part of this story is that he's having a full-blown love affair with the C-suite tech girl boss he works with when he has a Tradwife teacher back at home. Something to think about. So they're implying that this is either disproving red pill theories or it's the exception that proves the rule of those theories.
Yeah.
People are saying, Andy Byron's wife is, fitting the Tradwife archetype because she's a school teacher. She probably is not the breadwinner of their household. She's taking care of the kids. She's younger than Andy Byron. And then on the other hand, the woman that he's cheating with is this gray-haired divorcee who is certainly not in her prime and is a careerist.
Yeah.
I would say it makes perfect sense if you live in the real world and not in the world that a bunch of podcasters will tell you live in, because the vast majority of affairs, it's proven, start at work. And the reason for that is quite obvious. It's because you're spending the most time with this member of the opposite sex at your workplace. And you also are psychologically affected by the fact that with a coworker, you have a shared purpose and you're working toward it. And you can end up having a more emotional affair with a coworker that you share this larger purpose with than your own spouse who you see less often.
She started in like 2024, right? So this isn't somebody who's been there for like since the beginning of the company with him. Also, like something like this is like they both have something to lose if it gets exposed. Now they're idiots and they did get exposed.
Well, in a way, that's part of the thrill, I guess.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, but I think it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I can't imagine how somebody can make it to that level of wealth and not. I guess it just proves that, you know, you don't think rationally when you think about something like when stuff like this happens. Your rational brain is overpowered by the fact that you're making stupid decisions for, I guess, lust, or in this case, it's not even lust. It's something else. And whatever it is, it takes incredibly smart people and turns them into complete idiots. It makes me think of the Bill Burr bit about of Arnold cheating on his wife with the ugly maid and said that like a lot of these guys, they just, when it comes to this stuff, they're just stupid.
Well, I guess what they say about the affairs with the nanny, that stereotype, it's because that's the woman that's actually taking care of your children. And that definitely has a profound primal effect on a man's brain. But in this scenario, it is lust for sure. But a bigger piece of it is also an ego boost. Like seeing what you can get away with, testing the boundaries, you know?
Yeah.
Testing fate. There's a thrill in that.
There's also now all poor gentlemen named Andy Byron have to add this to their profiles.
It's a generic enough name, isn't it?
Not the guy from the Coldplay gig.
Yeah. You don't want people to make the wrong assumptions.
You don't want people thinking the wrong thing. Spinal Tap got involved and said, to the spouses who found out they were being cheated on via the Coldplay Jumbotron, sorry to hear that. Come see Spinal Tap. We promise no Jumbotrons, just ear damage and emotional closure. I wonder if they will offer them to be the drummer for Spinal Tap. How did this story end up on the New York? Like, I saw somebody in the chat earlier mention like podcasters like glommed onto this. There were 2 articles written about this by the New York Post before we even went live yesterday.
Yep.
And I saw this story in the morning. And I think part of it is that people love seeing CEOs taken down a peg, right?
There's
like,
some have and have not energy for sure. We have a crisis party.
Thank you.
If it will ever go off from Willem. My 39th birthday today, going through a separation after 8 years because I'm a gun-loving Republican. Cheers and Murica, baby. Well, there are quotes around that.
Well, first of all, thank you for the crisis party. Second of all, happy birthday. Third of all, I'm sorry that you are going through the separation.
Yes, all of what Brett just said.
Yeah, like it's like what we were talking about before. Like when you're finding a spouse now, you got to think values as much as anything else because people are so divided these days. There was a time when these things probably would, like 20 years ago, people probably didn't think about these things as much when they were getting married.
Well, I think that's probably why, you know, if you marry someone in an apolitical time of their life.
Then you worry that later on they're going to change.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I also saw this. It says, I vibe coded a little game called Coldplay Canoodlers. You're the camera operator and you have to find the CEO and the HR lady canoodling.
Amazing. It's like a Where's
I'm
Waldo
not getting copyrighted on
cheating.
that song, yeah.
There they are. Caught in the act.
Here's the thing. Do you think the third employee? I find the third employee most interesting.
She's going to write a book. I swear.
I do not believe that the third employee got a payoff. I think she's just a bad person.
That third employee, regardless of whether she sues the company, she's going to get approached for a book deal. I guarantee it. And now there are stories from ex-employees of his previous companies coming out and saying he's an abusive boss. he yelled at us, he was a jerk, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's the least of his worries right now. He should be worried about getting sued by that employee who was sitting with them and by his mistress, because his mistress has an easy claim of sexual harassment already.
Can I ask what is I understand the mistress, I guess, I understand the mistress because of the power dynamics in his position within the company. It's only made funnier by the fact that she's the HR rep.
Right.
I'm sorry. But what is the third person's claim?
Well, because the argument is she is accompanying them outside of work on these clandestine dates, and presumably that's to run cover for the arrangement because, we were out on a work outing. Or she's friends with the lady. And that's the truth.
And she's just a really bad person who doesn't care. She's probably never met his wife, who probably doesn't come into the office. And she probably doesn't even think about her outside of like weird moments where they're canoodling extra close. And and like every 10th time she's like, doesn't he have a wife?
Correct. Like, I think that she's probably just a bad person. I'm just saying she has the perfect opportunity to capitalize on this.
Yeah.
As a witness, you know?
Who do you call for HR when HR is involved in the scandal? We may never know.
And I bet Andy Byron is going to start suing media outlets too.
And he'll write
a book. He has plenty of defamation claims.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.